Good evening, everybody. Good evening. Happy New Year. This is our first live power hour, and my brother is here with us. Welcome, Andrew Griffin, back to Power Hour 2026. Thank you, brother.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited.
I'm excited about our conversation. Every time we come together, there's always information that I take from this that strengthens my confidence. People assume that if you're a podcaster, that you always, or a speaker or a
Right,
coach, that you
right.
always have, 200% confidence, no butterflies, no issues. And I would venture to say that's a lie.
Yeah.
So tonight, I want us to do a little bit of reflection on what you do for those who are just tuning in for the very first time. And welcome to you all. Please share, please tag, please follow on YouTube and Facebook. Critical Conversations Network has been doing Power Hour for about 2.5 years, almost three. And my brother has been with me for 2 of those years. And I am so grateful for your time, your wisdom, how you have just came on and just taken this to a whole nother level as it pertains to our confidence. I am so excited about the father-daughter coaching that you're doing. And you and I have talked about how that touches home for me,
Mhm,
having my father that is living, my bio
mhm.
father, and my other dad, or what the world calls stepfather. I don't call him that. That is deceased. Two different dynamics,
That's right.
two different, totally two different relationships. But at the end of the day, at 50 years old, I am just now learning how to exist in the space of being my father's daughter and learning more about him at 50 than I've
Mm,
ever learned about him, even as a child, which sometimes happen when there is a divorce.
right.
You don't get to have those firsts with both parents, so you kind of get that tug of war. So I thank you, and I'm so proud of everything that you're doing, my brother. I am excited about what God is doing, not only in your life, but in the life of the Griffin family. Shout out to Lady Leroya Dean, my sister, Green Highlights CEO, and to one of the best young female gospel groups in the entire stratosphere, the Griffin Girls. This is a family affair. We're going to talk about how family and business integrate as well. So, to begin, I want you to remind us, my brother, of what you do, what is coming up for you, how the audience can follow you, and really let them know your niche, if you will.
I got you. I got you. Well, first, thank you for having me on again. I do not take being on here for granted. I always appreciate the opportunity. Again, my name is Andrew Griffin. I'm a
Yes.
husband to Leroy. We'll be celebrating 18 years coming up in October.
Woo! Yes,
I yes, it is National Spouse Day, so had to
I
recognize.
love
Yeah, I
it.
just found that out. So I definitely got a post picture of her.
Right.
I I am the father of four beautiful daughters. Right,
Mhm.
God said, "Be fruitful and multiply." I took Him seriously.
And did.
Right, right. And what I do now is first I had to become transparent with everyone that I dealt with because
Okay.
I was holding on to something that I felt that affected my body, affected how I
Mm.
went after relationships, affected my finances. And
Wow.
I think a lot of times we hold our own self back just by not being honest
Yes.
with ourselves. And
Yes.
so about 6 years ago, I started sharing the fact that up to the age of 33, I could not read or write.
Wow.
And it affected everything. It affected finances. It
Mm-hmm.
affected my relationships. It affected my health. I developed type 2
Mm.
diabetes. And
Wow.
it was, a lot of times people say, it's what you're eating. No, it was what was eating me inside that caused the stress
My.
level to go up. It caused my organs to malfunction. It gave me kidney issues. And we just never know what stress and our
Yes.
mindset can do to our bodies. So it's not just
Yes.
what you're eating, it's what's eating you. Of course, I
Wow.
did have to take responsibility and start eating better. I was eating
Mm-hmm.
fruit. but I was eating apple pies and carrot cakes and peach cobbler. They had some fruit in there, but it wasn't what I
A
was
whole
supposed
bunch
to
of
eat.
other stuff,
Right.
brother.
So it was a little bit of food, but it was a lot of what was going on in my mind. So I had to first develop my mind. Bob
Yes.
Proctor said sometimes we live as extras in our own movie.
Wow.
When we have the ability to be the director, the actor,
Come on.
the lead actor, the star, the producer, director, we decide to be an extra in our own movies. And I wanted to stop that. I wanted to break that curse. I didn't want my daughters to go through that. When we was first raising our kids, I saw them as having low self-esteem. It was the same picture of me. It was same. I didn't want to repeat that. And sometimes I have to allow things that have happened in our lives to slowly creep into our next generation. And I said, I'm stopping that now. And so I dived into personal development. I dived into getting coaches. I paid for coaches. I paid for material to read and get better. And that was the start of a journey. And now today, we coach youth, but we also coach fathers because we know they're the foundation of the house. And we know that when the father's present and when he's doing what he's supposed to do, the sky is the limit for his children. The sky is not only the limit for his children, but also his wife. And so we teach teenagers, but we also focus on coaching dads, especially with daughters. And so that's what we're up to. People can reach me at andrewgriffin.us. That is the way to kind of keep track of what's coming up. But that's kind of what's going on, and I'm excited about 2026 as we launch a few projects as well.
I love that. Let me just say welcome to everybody. Cassandra Walker, my sister and fellow board member of the United Community Housing Coalition. God bless you, sister, for being here. Mr. Reed, thank you for being in the room. Dr. Crystal L. Fenderson, transformation coach, mental health enthusiast, the greatest mental health clinician this side of the stratosphere. I got a chance to hang with her this weekend with her 2026 manifesto, and finally I choose me last night was fire. So thank you, Dr. C, for being in the room. Pastor Rodney White of the For Real Church is in the room as well. I appreciate y'all. That's my brother right there as well. So I feel like I want to go back a little bit. For you to target youth, what was the precursor? What were you seeing or not seeing that led you to that group of people?
Wow. I read something that we form our identity about money, how relationships work, what we want to do when we get older by the age of 5 or 6. They know by the 3rd grade how many prisons they're going to build.
Wow.
So, I mean, it starts when you're young. You form this whole identity about your whole life when you're 5 or 6, 7 years old. So I knew it started there. And I knew that I saw when one of my daughters was playing an instrument, and then I had her stop playing it. And then I just worked with her mindset for like a month. She went back to that same instrument and was killing it. Wow. No more instruction. It was just the belief, I can do this. I've seen somebody else do this. I worked on her mind. And then I did that with the next daughter who didn't have really the musical talent that you would think. But I just worked on her mind. And then she got to an instrument. She just like, oh, this piece of cake.
Wow.
Because at the end of the day, if you can type, you can play a piano.
Okay.
But nobody tells you that, because what happens?
Exactly.
You talk to somebody at work and you say, hey, you ever played an instrument? It's like, no, that's not my gift. And what you'll find out is that somebody told them when they were young that this is not for you. You can't do that.
Wow.
And if that somebody had just redirected and just say, hey, if you work on it, you can do it.
See? Come on.
And it happens all the time. Steph Curry, one of the reasons why, and he's one of the smaller players in the NBA, but he's probably the second highest paid individual in the NBA. What happened with him? He saw his father in the NBA.
Ooh.
So he saw it. He saw it. He said, number one, he had the confidence that my dad played in this league. I know I'm short. I know I'm not 7 feet, but I've seen it. And so when we see it in our mind, then we just got to put to work with it. but sometimes our mindset kick us out the game
Yes, it does.
because it tells us not to even try. And so that's why I
Yeah.
target young folks, because I like the story of Jim Rohn. He shares it about this man walking down the street and he sees this dog moaning on the porch. And the
Mm-hmm.
guy stops and he looks at the owner. He said, "Why is this dog moaning?" And he said, "Well, the dog is sitting on a nail." And he
Mm.
said, "Why won't the dog move?" He said, "I guess the nail is not hurting him enough."
Wow.
And
My,
sometimes when
my,
we get
my.
older, we just start moaning and complaining and
See?
staying
Come
on
on
this.
here.
We hurt, but we're not hurting hard enough or enough.
Mm.
And as a young person, we don't need to be told we need to hurt. Let's just get it done. They
Come
don't
on.
have this history of failures that us as adults keep with us.
Yes.
See, that's the difference. You can fail at something, but when you keep that failure every day,
Yes.
you waking up to this same failure. It's like watching a bad movie. It's like being in a
Over and
nightmare
over.
over and over. And you have this young
Ooh-wee.
child that haven't been in those nightmares, but you're the person that is able to paint a picture for them.
Yes.
But if you're painting a picture of history that you've experienced,
Ooh.
and that's why we have such few millionaires. That's why we have such few business owners, successful business owners, because
Yes.
they've taken the idea and the picture from people they're around.
Yes.
And so with young people, especially with teenagers, I want to help them to see that no, it's
Mm-hmm.
bigger. And that's why I share my testimony and say, hey,
Mm-hmm.
if I can do it, if I can go from looking on the sides of Wendy's and McDonald's for quarters and dimes to feed my family,
Come on,
to
brother.
owning businesses
Testify.
and owning buildings, you can do it
Yes.
too. There's nothing special
Yes.
about me. Sometimes when we look on TV, we think something special about them. No, they just failed more and they failed
Ooh.
quicker. They've gone
Come
through the
on.
storm quicker. They haven't avoided
Wow.
the storm. They didn't get lucky.
Wow. That is powerful. That is powerful. Let me check in. Pastor Elaine Gwen says, your daughters are the next Clark sisters. Love them. Great job, man of God. From Pastor Elaine Gwen. Dr. C says, don't rehearse the curse. You all share
I
this
feel
because
that.
let's
That's
go back
awesome.
to childhood for a minute. And
Yes.
this is no disrespect to any parent or anyone. In my childhood, children were more so seen, not necessarily heard. So, for example, I was always that kid that was the class clown, but in a good way. I didn't get in
Mm.
trouble. My grades were still good. I did have threes in citizenship, but my grades were good. But I was always that person who loved to make people laugh. And my mom would say, silly girl. Yes, I was that silly girl. So now here I am at 50. I have a character called Online Church Mother, and she comes out on my page every now and then. And I've gotten some people say, why don't you take that on the road? I said, oh, it's one thing to just be who you are naturally, but when the spotlight is on you and say, okay, make us laugh from 7:13 to 7:22, that makes me nervous. But I am intrinsically a person who loves to make people laugh. So when we see children doing certain things, I also ask a lot of questions.
Mm-hmm.
As a kid, I was that student that the teacher probably, oh, here she comes. She got a question. Anyone got questions? They say, Tanya, go ahead, girl, because she's the one with all the questions. But look at what I'm doing now. I have several podcasts.
That's
I
right.
wanted to be a TV news anchor woman, but I let my size, my dark skin, and my, lack of self-esteem and poor and negative self-image stop me from pursuing that. But the Lord had a way of bringing it full circle. So
Mm.
when your children are exhibiting certain behaviors, they're daydreaming, they're interviewing everyone, they're always singing, they're always choreographing dance. Don't discourage that. I feel as though we miss the opportunity to sometimes tap in and cultivate some of those gifts. What's your thought on that, Andrew?
Oh man, this is very dear to my heart. Um, for I know you go to church, and
Mm-hmm.
back in the day, when little kids, or even if they're like 6, 7 years old, they would jump on the instruments, you would have people yell at them, get off those instruments.
Yes, yes.
Those same churches are calling me today asking me, do I know a musician who's available?
Wow.
Usually the great musicians, they started in their home church,
Mm-hmm.
banging on those instruments at 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years old.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
My dad, he lost members because we didn't grow up with drums in the church.
Okay.
But that was my first instrument I was interested in playing.
Wow.
And it caused an uproar.
Mm.
People left because I wanted to play drums in the church.
Wow.
And it was the start of a musical journey. And he
Yes.
saw that. He saw that. And he was willing to sacrifice a few, what they call hell raisers anyway, right? It was just an easy way to get them out of there. Right?
Get him out of there.
Get him out of there, right? But he saw something in me because I was very quiet.
Mm-hmm.
And I think if we don't allow our children to have this imagination, don't call it daydreaming anymore. Sometimes that might be the vision that God has placed in them. It's not daydreaming. They talked about class clowns. Well, comedians get paid.
Hello.
Comedians get paid, and now they're actors. Look at Kevin Hart.
Yes.
That brother,
yes.
He don't have to look at nothing before he buy it. He don't have to look at it 5 generations from him. They don't have to think about money.
Come on.
Because he was a class clown.
Yes.
So we have to be careful of the seeds we plant in our kids.
Jesus.
And I think so many times, because of tradition and because of what we thought, and not really, we weren't thinking, but just watching the other people, we've put limits on our kids, our teenagers, and they just carried that to their adulthood. You know, we're buried at 70, but we stopped living. We stopped dreaming at 25.
Ooh, that's powerful. Ooh, that's powerful. I have to say this. I have to thank my childhood church, the late Harold Clifton Parsons Sr. and his wife, the late Fajetta Parson, who we just buried a year ago. They passed probably about a year apart.
Okay.
In our church, and it wasn't a huge church. We came from being a part of Bountiful Blessings under Apostle Gilbert or Patterson, and kind of started his own thing. And you know how church splits can be.
Yeah.
So people go this way, some go that way. So we ended up with what was called New Life Cathedral of Faith. And it started kind of big, but it kind of dwindled down. But one thing my pastor was extremely adamant about was Youth Sunday, was having a youth department, was making sure the youth of the ministry had free reign. I wrote plays. His son was the youth department president at 7, but I was the vice president at 12. But we had older, teenagers and young adults to help us with activities. And we had Youth Sunday. We were in charge of the program. I don't know if you understand, pastors and ministers, how when you allow your youth to go forward, you're helping them practice public speaking.
That's right.
You're teaching them how to be structured on a program. You're teaching them how to flow in their own creative gifts. So if you have a church and you are not pouring into your youth department, you may need to seek some strategic coaching, because your youth really, they will be your next pastors. They will be your next ministry team. So I have to say thank you to the late Elder and Sister Parson for always pushing the youth. It wasn't a whole bunch of us. But my very first talk show was at, I think, 15.
Wow.
It was called The Question Is. And I took my friends, my people, other youth, and made a panel and asked them. And we made it. We created this whole big production. We had a cameraman. I had an insurance. I had audience clapping. Because I saw, my Lord, I had a vision for myself.
That's right.
I saw myself doing what I'm doing now. I didn't know how it would look. I didn't know it would be called what it's called, but I saw myself interviewing people at a young age, and I loved it, Andrew. I loved it. I love getting to know people by communicating with them. What other way do you get to know the heart of a person than by letting them tell their story?
That's right.
So from that, it went to plays, it went to poetry. Then I kind of sat back and didn't do much with it. But who would have thought that 4.5 years ago, a book, I purchased a book called Overcoming Fear, The Transition from Corporate to Creative by Tanisha Johnson. She's a Detroit native, amazing author. Purchased the book, had the book, hadn't started reading the book, but somebody on Facebook posted, somebody stole my book. I ordered this book and the envelope came and no book. I put it, and I didn't know, Apostle Coleman at the time, but I responded, I got that book. When you get your book, can we read it together? And maybe do a book club. She said, yes. She ordered it. We got together. We got others involved. We did a book club. And in that book club was Coco Carmeria Fenton, the COO of Trailblazers Radio. And I didn't know who she was. She didn't know me. But she got to know me through the book club and invited me to be a guest on her show. And after being a guest on one show, I got a call from Frederick Beatty, the CEO of Trailblazers Radio. And they called me during one of the convocations that I take my jury to down at the cathedral.
Yes, right.
I got the call and they said, LHG, the CEO wants to talk to you. He wants to know, would you be willing to come on with your own show? I already had a name, brother.
Wow.
I already had started doing videos. Wow. So it's just amazing how a book, missing book, led to a book club, led to a network, and next month, CCN, the network, turns 1 year old when I stepped out to do my own podcast network. But it started with Trailblazers trusting me to be a guest, then a host, and what was one podcast has turned into 5.
Wow.
So look at God. Pastor Elaine, when I tell you, God makes no mistakes, and he does things so well and in such excellence. She says, I became a protector. She got one more comment. She says, you are so beautiful, woman of God. Bless you. We have to talk to your children. You never know what they're going through. She had unlifing ideations as a child because she was abused by siblings, but she trusted in Jesus and became a protector. You don't know people's story. You see the glitz, the glamour, the followers, the likes, the shares, but you have no idea what people have gone through. My mom is here. Thank you for being here, Mom. And I am so glad that I was brought up in a church that was big on making sure the youth department got a chance. Y'all stop staying home when the youth go forth. That's a gargoyle spirit. The devil is a lie. Who's singing and who preaching? The youth. Oh, I'm gonna stay home. The devil is a lie. Y'all stop doing that. Shame on you. To support them. Yes, it's you something to get up, get your cinnamon wig, and get to church and support the young people. Because I want us to get to a point where we value our children. Right. I know we got different generations and our parents only taught us what they were taught, but we have got to evolve to the point where we let these babies be creative. We let these babies shine in what they're able to do for the Lord. Now, let's talk about that. How did you manage, Andrew, how did you manage to include, to explain, and walk your children through business, through confidence, and not make it to where it's boring? How did you keep and captivate the attention of, how old is Serenity? 10? She's the baby. Then you got Faith, that's 16.
That's right.
And then 2 in the middle. How were you able to tailor the discussions about business and the necessity of entrepreneurism and not shut them all down? Like, we don't want to do that. What is that, Dad? How did you do that?
Well, we went to Genesis where he said he put us on this earth
Mm.
to understand what our gift was and to dominate, have dominion
Ooh,
over it,
wow.
and that your gift will make room for you.
My God,
That
today.
you don't just have to go to school and get good grades to get a good job.
Oh,
He
that's
wants you to
good.
go to school to learn and develop your gift.
Wow.
I would never encourage anyone just to go to school to get a good job,
Mm.
because the highest day for heart attacks is on Monday for jobs we go to that we hate.
Wow. Come on in here.
So I said, let's find out what you love to do. Let's
Yes.
find out what you love to do that you don't even need to get paid for it first, but you just
Come
love it
on.
and you develop that talent.
Yes.
Right? Faith has been making flyers for the last 2 or 3 years.
And thank you for making mine. Thank you, Fit Edits.
I mean, she's turned into a legit business, but that was a love she had first.
Mm-hmm. It's amazing.
Serenity Harmony, they love to play instruments. They love to
Yeah.
sing. Let's turn it into a business. That's what I think we were put here to solve a problem for other people and share that gift with other
Yes.
people. Develop
Yes.
our gift and share it with the world, and the world will compensate you for it. Michael
Yes.
Jordan just shared his gift with the world. Oprah just shared her gift with the world.
Yes.
Tiger Woods has shared his gift with the world. Denzel
Mm-hmm.
Washington just shares his gift with the world.
Yes. Yes.
Steve Jobs, when he was alive, he shared his gift with the world. When you interview and you listen to these individuals talk that we look up to, they're just sharing their gifts with the world. And I think that's what I've taught my kids. Let's share your gifts. And so you're not just doing something to do it. And that's
Yes.
what makes everything they do, they find enjoyment. They find it fun. Don't just go to
Yes.
school to memorize stuff.
Come on here.
I think some schools have done a bad job with making our kids memorize stuff
Mm-hmm.
without them understanding, why do I need this?
Come on.
What does this look like 5 years from now? What is your gift? And I think until we correct that, we're always going to have this disconnect. But that's one of the things when I work with a youth, I'm
Mm-hmm.
trying to develop their gift,
Yes.
because your gift makes room for you.
Amen. My mom is here. She says, Amen. I have to thank my mom. I put a post out there. I did an interview today and they asked me about someone that inspires me. And I said, it was my mom.
Mm,
My mom worked a very demanding job being one of the first African American and female buyers of GM in this region. I
wow.
watched her run departments, run meetings, put things together, and not get the accolades, not get the money,
Mm,
not get the encouragement that I felt she deserved. And when you're in a job, and I believe she loved what she did, I just don't think she loved the fact that she was met with some pushback when it came to getting the promotions and the
hmm
elevation
hmm
that I believe she deserved, because she worked very hard. She brought work home. Typewriters came home. Copy paper boxes of stuff came home, and she was the church administrator
mm.
extraordinaire. My mom is that woman, on top of being the choir director, on top of being the secretary. I
Yeah.
mean, she had 25 jobs on top of being a mom and a wife. And I said in the interview, I watched my mom commit to a job that I don't think committed to her.
Mm,
I watched her come home tired. I
mm,
watched her come home depleted, and then have to cook and deal with home.
hmm
Here I am at 50. I had a job at an amazing company for over 22 years. I loved the job initially. I loved it initially. But over time, when they tell you no matter how hard you work, I can only pay you this much. No matter what now your neighbor can do nothing. But if their skin was not like yours, they got praised for everything. But if I make one mistake in the email, my boss was on me like right on rice.
mm.
So I had to prove myself. I felt myself going through some of the same stuff that my mom went through 30 and 40 years ago. It's like it hasn't changed. And I'm not trying to tell you all don't get a job. I'm just saying don't let it kill you and don't let it stop you, because there's limits. There's a cap. if you work for a company so long, you ain't gonna get them raises. But you've been here 20 years, so we can only give you 0.7 cent LHD. But I single-handedly did A, B, and C. I implemented, I provided, I did all this kind of stuff. Well, we can only, according to the cap, under the protocol, we can only give you blank. I didn't lost my edges. I didn't lost. Listen, I did all this stuff for you, but we can only, and it made me realize, I said, Lord, by 50, I want to be out of here. Not realizing that I was going to be out of there. I did get sick, but it put me in a place, Andrew, where I finally tapped into what I love. I had the time to develop critical conversations.
That's right.
Didn't have an income much, but I had time to get Power Hour going and Girl Chat Weekly and now the Verge Youth Podcast and All Things New Dating Podcast. I had time to write the vision and rewrite it, Brother Andrew. That's right. My God, we got some comments here. Mommy said, oh my. Dr. C says, share it with the world and the world will compensate you.
That's right.
Pastor Elaine, love you both. So inspiring. God bless you, Pastor Elaine. She also says, I was taught to do my best. I trained so many children who has their own businesses now. Wonderful. Look at that. We got to connect, Pastor Elaine, because that's what we're doing. Yes, Mommy, thank you for recognizing that. I've always been a writer. My writing was my outlet. My writing was how I expressed myself. It was a little deep, for 1990 and in the MC Hammer days. But it was me. It was how I expressed my personality. I put it away for a minute, but I'm going back to, I will have my first book written in 2026 in Jesus' name.
Come on.
I will. I got about 4 or 5 in me. I got 200 journals. In these 200 journals is at least 7 books in Jesus' name. So I said all that to say, it's nothing wrong with having a job, but do you love it? Dr. C put in her comments, she don't want to work on Monday. I feel that. Trying to make the donuts. I feel all that. Yes, Mama, I will write the books. Yes, I will. But we got to get to a point where we are tapping into the passion of our youth and ourselves. I am starting a new career at 50.
See?
I'm working with people half my age. So let's talk about confidence. That's a good segue. How do you keep that confidence up when you're in an arena with people who don't look like you, don't think like you? They may be younger than you. They understand technology better than you. How do you keep that confidence level so you can soar?
Well, you got to find out first find out the truth about what you're looking, what you're seeking. So for a long time, when you think of the word or the occupation sales, you think someone has to be very good with people, that they have to be this extroverted type person, that they got to be very talkative, that they just have to have the gift of gab. But the best sales individuals are the ones that's introverted. Introverted.
Wow.
I didn't know that.
Me neither.
It swayed me away for a long time until I found that out from someone who's very good. Because when you're introverted, you're able to listen. While the one is talking, they talk themselves out of sales. And those are the ones that are pushy, and those are the ones that give sales a bad name.
Wow.
So whatever you're doing, you got to find out the truth about that thing.
Okay.
So the truth about playing piano is not that hard. You can type, you can play a piano. The truth about any occupation, find out who's doing it well and find out the truth, and then go from there. So if you want to get to working out and you want this certain size or a certain look, go to the person who has that and find out exactly what they. Maybe they're not going to the gym, staying at the gym 2 hours a day. Maybe they're going 3 times a week for 30 minutes.
Okay.
So we got to find out the truth. Then we develop the plan, and that's what gives you confidence. Wow.
I love that. And I think the first thing is I found myself as I was applying for jobs in this new reinvention of my career. I talked to myself and I said, I have negotiating power. Although I may be applying for an entry-level job, my skills are next level. I have over 30 years of customer service experience, over
Wow.
30 years of call center experience, including leadership, training, and consulting. God has given me an amazing career, and I have a lot that I can offer any company.
That's right.
When I go into the interview, when they say, well, we're only going to give you blank, I question that a lot of times. Like, oh, let's take a moment and go over a few of, of my previous positions and what I've done. So when you get me on your team, you're getting all of that. I'm bringing all that to the table. But I pray, I said, God, this has to be the year that you transition me from corporate to creative. I don't know how you're going to do it. What I would love to do is to my podcast, help other podcasters, go back to training. I would love to be able to freelance, train at companies, customer service. I'm going to write my own customer service series, modules, scenarios, what has worked for me in the last 30 years. Service isn't for everybody. It's not. Think of the worst things you've had said to you on the phone with some people who just don't care. They want to check, but they ain't servicing you. It's not for everybody. So I'm like, Lord, this has got to be my breakout year where I step out and take all that I've learned and help people succeed. If you want to have a career in service, let's talk about how you do that. As you step into these companies, here I am at 50 years old. Now I'm doing internal interviews. And sometimes I feel a little like, oh, here we go. But at this point, if it's for me, it's for me.
That's right.
God will provide. I get so caught up sometimes on the money. And we need money. We do. But I want to be in a position to do things that I love to do, that I'm so excited to get up and do that. The money is a plus, but I will do that thing from sun up to sundown and never get tired.
That's right. Well, let's go back. Let's go back right there.
Come on, let's go.
Let's go a live goal training real quick.
Okay.
So you mentioned podcasts. I think this would be valuable for anybody who's watching.
Okay.
And your goal is to have a phenomenal podcast. Like, what does that look like? Like, how many subscriptions do you need to? What is the goal? What is the goal for how many? What's that number?
Well, when it comes to YouTube, when it comes to how they're monetized, I've watched a few other podcasters and their channels, and many of them have upwards of 30,000 to 200,000, even up to 1 million followers. Okay. And I know that it takes work to get there. It takes the kind of content that people gravitate towards, but it also takes me learning my craft, learning.
You're phenomenal with it. You're already phenomenal at it.
I'm trying.
So what was that first? What would be your first goal? What would be that number for subscribers?
1,000.
1,000.
I will start there. It looks like, to answer your question, Dr. C, it's consistent. It looks consistent. A good podcast comes on certain times, certain days, every week, month, whatever. And people know that it's coming on. People are setting their schedules, notifications according to that podcast. It solves a problem.
That's right. That's right. And now, second question. We said 1,000 subscribers. What date would you like to have those 1,000 subscribers?
I would say, what's today, January 26th. I would like to have 1,000 subscribers by February 14th, Valentine's Day.
February 14th.
Yes.
So less than about 30 days, less than a month.
Yes.
And then I would ask the third question. Who are you currently looking at who has a successful podcast? Who are you studying currently?
I think the gentleman's name is Shay. He's kind of a sportsy kind of guy.
I love it.
He has some outstanding interviews with different celebrities. I also looked up a podcast that was focused on career. Dr. C says she wanted an appointment with you, Coach Griffin. He makes it happen.
No, that's important because we're all learning from somebody who has done it before.
Yes.
And everybody who's done it, they leave clues.
That's it, Coach Shay. Yes.
They leave clues. And so that will be number 3. We will focus on someone who already has done it
Mm-hmm.
and study them for at least
Yes.
90 days.
Okay.
Study them, listen to them at least 30 minutes a day for 90 days.
Okay. I can
And
do
then
that.
4th, we already got the vision for, you said 1,000 subscribers by February 14th.
Mm-hmm.
And then 4th, what are the challenges and obstacles preventing you think from getting you to that goal?
Consistency, trying to balance the full-time job, as well as doing your podcast, doing the jury, being a mom. It can seem overwhelming at times.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I overthink and overdo. When I was working with Trailblazers, I was on 3, almost 4 times a week, but I wasn't working it. So when I came into my own platform, I had this mentality: you got to do this 4 times a week. What? It's my platform.
That's right.
So some of the issues, yes, Dr. C, doubt, some of the issues are self-inflicted. What if I just stuck with one time and we can just stuck with it no matter what, rain, sleet, or snow?
So that leads me to the 4th thing we can do.
Okay.
Is for every obstacle, we got to list 20 solutions next to that.
Wow. Okay.
And don't stop till you get at least 20 solutions.
Okay.
It might be hiring an assistant.
Okay.
It might be just shutting down to 2 shows. It might be whatever it is. You just have to write down 20 things to every problem you have.
Okay.
And this is an example of something that I would take a teenager with, because it's not the problems that we go through. It's that we got to become a better problem solver.
Wow.
Because sometimes some of the same stuff holds us back. We got this vision, but some of the same stuff. There was a poem written by Portia Nelson where she says she goes down the street, she falls in a pothole. Chapter 2, she sees the pothole, but she still falls in. Chapter 3, she goes around the pothole. Chapter 4, she goes down a different street.
Okay.
Which means is some stuff that keeps us from getting to our goals are the same stuff. We go down the same street, we go down it very hard, and we go into the same pothole, damage the same tire, get frustrated at the same time, go to the same repair person who don't fix it right the first time. And we do these things, and we do them in life. And it's until we write it down and say, okay, let's get a real plan. This is the goal, 1,000 by this date. This is who I'm learning from. And maybe you don't get the goal. And so now we got to repeat these steps, but maybe get another person we look up to that's maybe a little bit easier. And then we go through number 4 and say, what's the challenges and roadblocks? And then we list 20 things that can help us with that. I just want to slide that in. I love. I'm
glad you did. That's why we do this.
That's why we do it. Because somebody else is going through the same thing. They have this goal in 2026 and they don't know what's really stopping them. Sometimes we don't know what we're going after, right? Are we trying to get this? Somebody says, I want to make more money. Well, if you made $5 more this year, you made more money.
That's right.
We got to be exact. I want a new house. How many bedrooms? How many bathrooms? What's the color? What's the smell? You gotta have all those details. And then you gotta walk in the house. That's why when you go to a auto place and you buy a car, they have you test drive the car because they know it's going to be 30% more likely you're going to buy it because you get in there and drive it. Sometimes they allow you to take it home because now that you're going to get 50% more increase that you're going to buy the car. And sometimes they let you keep it for 2 days.
Strategy.
They know. But we got to do that with our goals. We got to do that with our goals.
Absolutely. We got a couple of comments. A lot of times we get in our own way. A lot of times.
That's right.
A lot of times. That's a great point. Dr. C says, I want to make $1 million. Me too.
Come on. What is that a month? That's $83,300 a month.
See? Come on.
You got to divide that into hours. Who else do you know that's made $1 million? What did they do? What industry did they? And so we got to break those things down. Because maybe we can make that $1 million. It might take us 2 years, but we can't get frustrated if we don't make it in 90 days.
Wow.
That's the idea. If I told you you're going to make $1 million, but it's just going to take you 6 years, you're not going to be mad at nobody. You're not going to be mad at nobody if I say it takes you 6 years to make $1 million.
Right.
But if we don't see 6 figures in 90 days, we quit.
That's good, brother. That's good. That's good. Dr. C says facts. This is a good segue. Talk to me about the upcoming Change Your Paradigm conference. If you have been listening to my brother and you are resonating with what he's saying, this is what he does. This is what he does. He is a coach and he has a conference coming up. Hey, Faith. Oh, that's Harmony. Hey, Harmony. She said, go, Daddy. Tell me about the Change Your Paradigm upcoming conference and what does that concept even mean to you? And as you prepare this conference, what's the premise of this?
You know, there's a quote that you hear me say all the time: do not be an extra in your own movie. And
Yes.
that quote came from Bob Proctor. And the number one thing he taught was how to change your paradigm.
Wow.
Our paradigm is the habits we do every day that we don't even know why we're doing it.
Wow.
We do the same thing. We go to the same person. We drink the same coffee. Go to the same store. We don't even know why we're doing it. It's just it's automatic. It's automatic. If you look at your thermostat in your house, right? You set it at 70. If you open the door, the thing kicks on and it reaches the temperature back up to 70. But it's set at a paradigm, and that's sometimes what we do. If you ever notice when you was in school and you got you used to getting B's, and then all of a sudden you got a C, you started studying harder. Right up to you made it back up to the B's. You went back up to the habits and the paradigm you was at. But we're looking to change the paradigm where maybe you're a D student, but we're gonna change that paradigm to an A student and help you stay there.
Yes.
And so changing your paradigm means changing your habits, changing the hard drive in your mind, because we've been set at a young age. Our mindsets have been set, our paradigms have been set at a young age that we say we can't do this, we can't do that. And we're looking to change that. And there is a formula to change that.
Okay.
And we'd love to have individuals come out. That is going to be March 14th.
Yes.
It's going to be at Conquerors Church in Clinton Township. The information will be on the flyer soon with the location, but the tickets are $60 because we're going to feed you not only with the spiritual, we're going to actually have food there, right?
All right now.
So we're going to have food there. We're going to have incredible speakers. One of them is interviewing me right now, but we're going to have some phenomenal individuals to just pour out everything that they have. They're going to pour it out. And I'm so excited about the group that's going to be there, the speakers. The Griffin girls will be doing an A or B selection. We're going to see what they want to do. But we are excited to change lives. That's when I heard Bob Proctor. I encourage individuals to look him up. He's all over YouTube. He actually passed away a couple of years ago. He was in his 80s.
Wow.
He was in his 80s when he passed away. But this gentleman changed the lives of millions of people. I know we hear even Dr. Eric Thomas, the motivational speaker. He actually was his coach.
All right.
They all worked with Bob Proctor. Just an incredible individuals that help change so many lives.
Amazing. Would you have ever thought, being a young man that did not know how to read or write, that you'd be doing what you're doing today?
No. And because there was very few people in my life who actually believed that I could do it.
Wow.
And one of them passed away when I was 20 years old. That was my mom.
Wow.
And she passed away when I was 20, but really she got very, very sick when I was 16, 17. I had to take care of her as I would a child. And so it was a long time where I just felt, you feel alone. You feel, you already feel that you can't do stuff.
Yes.
But what it started doing, it made me develop skills that I didn't know I had. You ever heard of a person that's blind, but all their other senses are stronger? They can smell better. Because when you lose something, or you think you lose something, everything else gets a little bit better. You start to, when you forced into a corner, you're either going to fold or you're going to come out better. And when you're stretched, you see, when you stretch a rubber band, it's like stretching our mind. You can never get it to go back.
Come on.
And I started to seeing what I could do. I started going around individuals who said, no, you can do more than that. You can do more than what you're doing. You got the potential. You are Mr. Reed, who was on here earlier. I did my first public speech when I was 21 at one of his conferences. He didn't know. He didn't know.
Wow.
That was the first time ever. I didn't do a speech in high school. I skipped that class. That's why I got it spelled. I didn't
Wow.
go to, I dropped out of Wayne State University. I was there for 2 years, but I dropped out because they said you have to do a speech class to graduate.
Mm.
So I dropped out because I was that scared of getting in front of people, because I knew they would find out this guy it's not he either autistic or something's not right.
Mm.
So
Wow.
having somebody believe in you is
Yes.
big.
Yes.
It's big. And when you find those people, hold on to them. And if you can't find them, go get a coach.
Yes.
Pay somebody to believe in you. You know what I'm saying?
No.
They
What you got to do.
whatever you got to do. And just know that you can do all things through Christ who strengthens you. But he put people on this earth to be vessels, to be in your life, to help you, to get you to the next level. And when I found that out, I've been running ever since.
Wow. I'm so proud of you. Thank you, Sister Cassandra. She says, thank you for providing food for the body and the spirit, both of you.
Thank you.
That's what we do. What Power Hour, when I developed this particular podcast, I had become fired at my job after 20-something years, after getting sick. Blood, sweat, and tears. You get sick and they kick you out. And I moved in with my family, and my company sent me 5 boxes. In these 5 boxes was 20 plus years worth of my stuff. And it came down to these 5 boxes. I was so afraid to open those boxes. I thought it would trigger me. And one by one, I would be shaken. I would open the box and say, okay, I don't need that. I don't need that. So I finally got to the 5th box and said, I need to take my power back. I was angry at this company. I was angry at my former boss. I was angry. But things happen for a reason.
That's right.
As uncomfortable as it was to lose a 6-figure salary and to lose a home you love, to have a change in marital status, to have to live with your family. Thank God for my family. Thank you, Jesus. I never spent one day out in the cold, in the car, or in a shelter. So thank God for my family who made sure I had what I needed. And for believing in me and even giving me a space to do my podcast. Come on now. Thank you, family. Thank you. And when I get ready for this podcast, I don't care if it's 1 person or 12 or 29 or 200. I give it my all because I love what I do. I love what I do. But those 5 boxes consume my power. I wasn't opening my mail because I didn't have any money. I didn't want to see collections.
Yeah.
I didn't want to see, past due, 3rd attempts.
Yeah.
Because those letters get real aggressive.
They do.
You signed a contract and it said you was going, well, I didn't think I was going to get fired or sick.
That's right.
Ma'am or sir. It wasn't intentional. Don't get smart. I ain't got it. But I was afraid to even open the letters.
Yeah, I know.
It reminded me of what I thought was failure.
Yeah.
So the mail just piled up and I felt defeated. So I came up with Power Hour to take back my power. And I did a show called Open Your Mail. Just open it. And I opened it to find that many of those companies, come on here, it was called hardship. Hardship programs. Baby, it was hard and I was on the ship. I called up. I wouldn't have known if I didn't open the mail. Open the mail.
That's right.
It said, well, Miss Harris Gooden, because you got this credit card and you got a hardship, we are going to pay your credit card bill for 12 months. Come on. I wouldn't have known if I didn't open the mail. Just open the mail.
Wow. That's right.
Just open. You never know what people are willing to do if you just be honest. Because guess what happens when you don't open it? Somebody, the law offices of Leroy Jenkins and Carl Collins, he is good. Gonna take your last 2 quarters and send you up the creek. It doesn't go away, people. It's not gonna stop. Open the mail, make your arrangements. If you can't do but $1 a week, look, they might take that. But as I began to open my mail, I felt more powerful. I wrote letters. I started talking about the journey of not having my home, the journey of divorce, the journey of waiting on a disability check that took so many years, a journey of living with my family and wanting to do right by them. The journey even had a purpose, Brother Andrew.
As always does.
So at 50 years old, oh, I feel God in here. I signed on the dotted line and bought my first home. 50. To God be the glory. I said first home for a reason, because it's gonna be some more. Huh?
That's right. That's right.
I believe that. And yes, Mama, I do love it. I love what we do here at CCN. I love talking about wholeness and wellness and healing and community and confidence. And I thank you, brother, for rocking with me for these 2 years. And before we go, and thank you all for rocking with us tonight. Thank you. I needed this. This is a new year. What has been, or what will be, your focus in your own personal pursuit of your goals and dreams? What's the 2026 focus, if you can share?
Oh, there's a few of them. First, I think everything starts with health. So
yes,
really, sometimes people look on the outside, they think you're very healthy, but it's sometimes on the inside, the things that you need to cover. And so that's a huge portion, because if you don't feel good, you can't do good, right?
Come on here.
Also, I do want to speak on more in more schools. I do want to speak at more schools because I think our children, they are not really getting this information. This information is not taught.
Yes, sir.
And I think the same children that you pass by now and you disregard, you just say they bad kids, they're gonna be the kids that's knocking somebody in the head, but you could have saved them. You could have said something, you could have shared something with them for them to be the next great athlete, next great professor, lawyer, doctor. It just takes someone to share that with. So I want to impact, we talked about it, I want to really impact a lot of youth this year. Along with daddies. I want to have a core group of 33 fathers that we work with, that we coach, that we speak on a monthly basis. And we actually have a monthly accountability call for dads, and just want to push that in the whole family dynamic, because you're really just one decision away from changing your life.
Ooh, that's powerful. That's powerful. So to those in the comments, if you have connections to school systems, and if you can help put my brother in contact with administrators to get this curriculum into more schools, to get him into more schools, I would love for you to reach out and connect with him. How can they reach you, brother?
They can go to andrewgriffin.us.
All right.
And fill out the contact form. And that would be tremendous, because just trying to get the word out.
Yes. To
help individuals. That's always been my passion. I've always had a heartbeat for helping people, and just want to share it, so they can be helped and be encouraged.
Absolutely. And if you know someone that is doing something phenomenal in the community that you'd like to see on the Critical Conversations Network or Power Hour, reach out. You can message me. I would love to know who that person or those persons are. Shout out to another host on our network, Dr. C, has been in the comments. Thank you for hanging with us. Her podcast is Finally I Choose Me. You can follow it on Facebook, and you can follow her on YouTube. She is amazing at what she does. I'm still getting messages about last night's show and how it impacted Elder Stephanie Pride and Elder Geneva Connors gave their stories concerning cancer, concerning women's health, wholeness, and wellness. It was awesome. So Power Hour is every month. It is normally the third week. We had to do some creative scheduling, but go ahead and subscribe, set notifications, so you'll always know my brother comes every single month, and he gives of himself, his time, his wisdom. Brother, I thank you. Thank you. Because I got homework. By the time we get together again, oh my God, I feel it out in here. By the time we get to the next show next month, I'm going to have a testimony. I'm going to have done my homework. And that's what we're going to say.
That's
Because
right.
I needed all this. See how he did a whole coaching session? And I'm taking it all. Listen, I take it all. I take it all in. My brother has allowed me to MC many of his programs. He has employed me to do some things that I haven't done in a long time. Thank you for believing in me, brother.
Thank you. Thank you
for holding me accountable, for pushing me out and allowing me to do the things that God has called me to do. Thank you. Thank you, mommy. Thank you, all of you that have supported this network. I appreciate you. We're going to get out of here. I'm going to let my brother have the final words. I'm going to pray us out. And I thank you for just an amazing evening.
I appreciate you so much. I did want to show this before we got off.
Yes.
I had it with me. We got our Rewrite the Vision
merchandise.
We're going to start your morning with tea and coffee, writing down your goals.
Yes.
Rewrite the Vision.
I love it.
And I know this is one of our newer shirts.
Yes. Come on, Blue. I like that.
Rewrite the Vision.
Yes,
so we are excited.
Honey.
We are excited.
We are excited. If you want to get yours, reach out so you can get yours. I can't wait because that's mine right there. That one is mine. Get your own. That one right there belongs to LHG.
So we are excited. It starts with a mindset, but when you wear what you believe,
come on here.
It helps it. It helps everything.
That's a whole revival minus the tent. Wear what you believe. I felt that in my whole spirit. Well, brother, I'm gonna let you get us prayed out and whatever you want to tell us in conclusion. Thank you all again for hanging with us and engaging, participating. Thank you, mommy. Thank you, everyone. Pastor Elaine, Dr. C, all of you. Thank you for y'all coming through and just engaging. I hope this was a blessing to you as much as it was to me. I got homework. All right, bro, you got the floor.
I just want to thank you again for having me on. I'm excited about what's to come. We're going to go hard in February.
Let's go.
With letting people know what's about to happen and help people accomplish their goals. So I'm excited. Father God, we thank you for this day. We thank you for the individuals on this call. We ask that you go into each and every one of their homes to help strengthen, guide them, order their steps, strengthen them, give them whatever they need, Lord. They might be able to uplift your name so we might show the kingdom. We are ambassadors to the kingdom. We're going to develop our gifts and give you the glory. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Cassandra. Thank you, Mr. Reed, Mr. Absent, all of you who came through. Share this, please. Share this on all of your platforms. Have a good night. Stay safe. Get them shovels out, baby. It's winter in Michigan. I don't know who didn't sin against God, but we getting the wrath of God in Michigan. All right, we got to go. Love you all. Good night.
Good night.